Hey, what's going on, Patriots, Patriots, and all the rest of you bastards out there? It's Redneck. We coming to you again here. Mainly going to record this video here and kind of in a response to Sean Owens. He raised a couple of good points that are actually video worthy. And I'm really going to address two main concerns here in this here video. I'm going to try to keep it short, but you know me, I'll probably ramble, for 20 minutes if I let myself do it. The two big things that he brought up was, one of them, he said that there was an oath keeper that told him you had to be in the military or, peace officer in order to be an oath keeper, which is totally false. There's no truth to that statement. Though that is the main focus and the main mission of Oath Keepers is to actually reach out to these individuals for obvious reasons. You can watch my video, Police and Military When the Stuff Hits the Fan, SHTF. You can watch that video, or better yet, go to the Oath Keepers website, and you'll get the gist of why this organization is as important as it is. Now, it's not true. You don't, though they are the main focus, you do not have to fall under those categories in order to be an Oath Keeper. We do have what's called citizen associate members, as well as, he kind of left out the firefighters, and EMTs. What about them guys? But, we welcome our firefighter brethren. If you want to go through the official channels and actually become a full-fledged, become a member, and yeah, sure, you'll get you get you a little certificate, says Oath Keepers, that you're a citizen associate member. If you want to go through the channels and do so, and I encourage everybody to do so. Matter of fact, whenever we go out and do speaking engagements, it's kind of customary, it's pretty much a custom. You can watch my video where I actually went and delivered a speech at a South Haven Tea Party event, and after we got through, doing the presentation of what we are and did our 10 orders we will not obey, at the end I asked all the people that have swore that oath in official capacity to raise their hands and reaffirm the oath, and anybody else that felt a personal conviction that wanted to be honorary Oath Keepers to do the same, a show of support. So I think that pretty well answers that question. Now, the other thing he brought up and he wanted me to answer was, why do I despise the term civilian? What's the difference between civilian and citizen? He said he never looked up the definitions, and I'm sure most folks hadn't. And depending on where you go to look at the definition, you'll see different things. But I think something that they'll all have in common is this. A citizen is a member or resident of, some sort of locale or nation, city, town, geographical location. Not only are they a member of that, but they also retain the rights of a free man or freeman. That sounds like me. See, it's a very empowering term. Now, that's pretty generic. You can look across all the different definitions and, you're pretty much going to get that. Now, you look up the term civilian, what are you going to get? You're going to get somebody who's not a member of the armed forces or police or, some sort of official government, somebody in an official capacity relating to the government. But mainly, peace officers or military personnel. But now let me take this one step further beyond that. See, it doesn't say, nowhere in the definition of civilian will you see one who enjoys the rights or entitled to the rights of a free man. You will not see that anywhere in that definition. So, by calling yourself a civilian, you're not acknowledging that you are emboldened by those rights of a free man. You're not entitled to the rights of a free man. You're not entitled to protection by whatever government. Now, and you're not entitled for the government to protect your rights. You're not acknowledging any of that anywhere in the definition of a civilian. But I'm going to take it one step further than that. How about this? Who mostly uses those terms? Who do you think uses that term the most often? Civilian. Well, mostly it's going to be guys in uniform. Okay, well, what's wrong with that? Well, check this out. Civilian. Look at those civilians over there. Well, how about this? Why don't you interchange that with the term outsider? Well, let's go a step beyond that. So, you got some of these people out there that's got this mighty mentality of, oh yeah, I've got power, I've got authority, and you're a civilian, you have no power, you have no authority, you're an outsider, and I've got the authority, and I'm asserting my authority over you. Wow. So now you've turned me not just from a civilian to an outsider, but also to a subject. And subjects are those who are under a rule of monarchies or oligarchies or subjects to authority. You see, it's a complete reversal of roles. Because as our system was set up, those who are calling the people civilians, aren't those the very people who are supposedly historically subject to the power of the citizenry? And what do I mean by that? Aren't they supposed to serve and protect the citizens? That's just a thought. So hopefully that'll give you some insight as to why I am diametrically opposed to being called a civilian. Actually, in one of the encounters I had when I was open carrying, during the course of the dialogue, I believe the peace officer had said something to the effect of, well, it's just not commonplace to see a civilian with a gun. All due respect, officer, I'm not a civilian, I'm a citizen. And he just kind of looked at me like, what? Huh? What? Citizen? What? Hold on, man. I think we might have us one here, man. And I kind of followed that same route of logic with him. I didn't go into the whole, I didn't put it, quite as crystal as I did there, because quite frankly, I didn't necessarily want to get a pair of shiny bracelets just because I pissed in his Cheerios. Which, if that would have happened, I'm pretty sure that, given my knowledge of the law, and actually my knowledge base has grown significantly over the past 48 hours of the law, just by studying. Do you know that when you hire an attorney, your relationship as it relates to the court and your attorney, you become a ward of the court. And do you know what Black's Law Dictionary? According to Black's Law Dictionary, a ward of the court is an infant or a person of unsound mind. And also that your attorney's first obligation is to the court, and then to the people, and then to the client. You go, what? Seriously, look into that. So if there's a conflict of interest between, so if I got this attorney, and I take this attorney and hire this guy, I'm saying to the court, hey, I'm of unsound mind, which we know that's not true. I mean, you can disagree with my views, but one thing that you can't say is I've got an unsound mind. I mean, come on now. I probably use more big words than any other redneck, or hell, probably a lot of folks out there that are actually watching these videos. And I'm not insulting anybody's intelligence. By no means, please don't take offense to that, but you get what I'm saying. How many rednecks use the same type of verbiage that I do, that you hear? How many people out here in the common street? I mean, I've got a little bit of education. 168 IQ, man, that's not too shabby. And actually, after I went through and brushed up on some of the mathematical formulas, it was actually went from a 168 to a 176, but I don't count the 176 because I had to go back and, brush up, so I just stick with the 168. So I don't have an unsound mind, so I'm damn sure not going to, acknowledge, show myself to the court, present myself to the court as a person of unsound mind. And then two, if I got this attorney and there's a conflict of interest between me and the court or the people, he is, now whether or not he does it is a different story, but he is obligated to them over me. So why would I do that? And of course we know the climate that, of today's world. So in your spare time, I would implore you people to actually go and start looking at some of this stuff. Some of these legalese and this, that, and another. It's actually, it's pretty eye-opening experience. But anyway, that's my thoughts on citizen versus civilian. And you see, that just sounds like a dirty word, civilian. It just sounds dirty. I don't even like saying it. And, the little correction on the Oath Keepers thing there for their fella. So anyway, guys, please rate and comment on this here video. You know what? You ain't even got to rate it. Just comment on it. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Better one yet, post a video response. Let's get some dialogue going on this and get some other folks to chime in. I don't want to sit here and just be talking back and forth between me and this old boy over here. Y'all have a good one. Ah, shit.